What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today we need to talk about Pokemon TCG Ultra Deck, the free captains. This is Starter Deck 10, and we finally have some word about the English version of this deck, which is lovely. Now, it's not been put on the official website yet, unfortunately, so you know the deal by now. I've said it before, but I'll say it again. This is information from distributors. We are using the same places we always use, and up till now, the credibility, the accuracy has been extremely high, but it is not official until it goes up on the official One Piece website. Until then, it should be taken as, well, distributor information. Distributor information is not official, but it's coming from Bandai. It's usually accurate. But you never know, there's always a possibility that something changes. That happened with a Digimon set not too long ago. They actually did an announcement saying it was changed after people picked up the distributor info and were not too happy about it. Which is weird, honestly. So Starter Decks 8 and 9 are also not actually yet on the official website for One Piece. That is the Black Luffy and Yellow Yamato Starter Deck. But we're not going to be talking about them today very much, but because we've seen them before, basically. You know, that's something we've had a look at before in terms of distributor listings. As it stands at the moment, we are hearing they're coming out on the 11th of August, which is shortly, well, not even that shortly, honestly. It's sometime after OPO3 comes out. So they're apparently coming out on August the 11th. Again, that is not an official release date. That is a listing that we have on a distributor website, which seems to be legit, but as I've told you a million times, until it's officially on the One Piece official website, it is not official. There we go. But Starter Deck 10 looks good. Starter Deck 10 looks very, very good. To put it into context, over in Japan, we've seen two prices so far of Starter Decks. Generally, they tend to be about 990 yen, but you've had some, like the film Starter Deck, for instance, which have come out being a little bit cheaper at 550 yen. Generally, if anybody's unaware, the reason you would do that is as a promotional thing. Nice cheap Starter Deck, get people in. Particularly relevant for the film Starter Deck, of course, because the goal there is to basically go, well, there's this film coming out. Let's make a starter deck based on the film and let's make it cheap so that people who would never play the TCG but are just coming out of the film go, oh, I'll pick this up because I like the film, and then boom, you're off. Job's a good one. That's kind of the point here, all right? So, this is not 990 yen and it is not 550 yen. This one is actually retailing over in Japan for 2,970 yen, which is, of course, treble 990, which is, well, that's free starter decks. Now, it is not free starter decks in one, it is one starter deck, let's be perfectly clear. But what we've got here is a starter deck that is actually 3 times as expensive as a regular deck. That's a pretty gosh darn big deal. So, we'll get to more of what we knew previously in a minute, but let's go and see what we can learn from distributors about this lovely new starter deck. 1. Luffy, Law, Kid. The free captains are all here. The free captains bring with them many of their crews, including Zoro and Killer. These powerful pirates are ready to support their captains in battle. So, they're confirming a couple of the characters which are going to be in the deck. Cool. The first red-purple constructed deck in the series. This aggro deck features a well-mixed balance of effects to KO characters and effects to add Don cards. Its powerful build can quickly produce results in competitive matches. Now that's interesting to me. One of the selling points of this deck is it's good. It's very, very good. And we were told it was powerful previously, we'll get to that in a minute. But the fact that they are specifically saying its powerful build can quickly produce results in competitive matches, that's a big deal. Because remember, that the information that goes to distributors isn't trying to sell the deck to people, it's trying to sell the deck to shops. The distributor is trying to get shops to pick it up, so they're basically saying, look, tell your fans, tell your customers this is going to be a powerful deck. In a way, it kind of is selling it to customers, but it's through the shops, that's what's important. Apparently, this is a real thing. that they are actually trying to go out of their way to make a proper, powerful deck. And I'm sure we're going to have to make a few changes here, alright? I'm sure it's not going to be that simple. I'm sure it's not going to be an out-the-deck regional winning, or out-the-box regional winning deck. But I'm sure that, you know, if they're designing it like this, and they're going out of their way to make sure that they're telling us, it's got to actually be a pretty gosh darn good one, and that's kind of awesome. Unbeatable features earn this deck its Ultra status, including all holo cards, 8 types with holo and texture foiling and 11 types with just holo. Use the Interchangeable Leader cards to mix up your battle style. Try out different strategies and find the leader that works for you. This is the big question I had about this deck. And it's one of those that we thought we knew, but now we've got confirmation. On the Japanese website, it referred to 2 replacement cards. On the distributor website, it talks about 2 promo cards. But this is now actual confirmation. They use the phrase Interchangeable Leaders. That means that there is a Luffy and a Law and a Kid, and they are all getting their own leader card. So presumably, I mean, I'm reading between the lines here, but I think this sounds pretty sensible. If it is a red-purple deck, then it's going to feature a mixture of red-purple cards. But you can only play cards, the rules of the game say you're only allowed to play cards that are the same color as your leader. Ergo, the only logical explanation here is that all 3 of your leaders, your Luffy, your Law, and your Kid, are all dual-color red-purple leaders. This is a really big deal, ladies and gentlemen. This is a really big deal. And look, I know that, you know, we want to see the cards and all of that, I understand, but this deck sounds kind of amazing. It's a deck with 3 leader cards, all of which are red and purple, that can be switched out at will to make the deck you particularly want. I rather suggest that one of them is going to be better than the others, but you never know, it might legit be a playstyle thing. They're telling us it's going to be an actual competitive deck that can quickly produce results in competitive matches, and we've got effects that KO characters as well as effects that add Don cards. This sounds really good. Oh, and as a side note, all holo cards. 8 are holo and textured, 11 are just holo. I think that means the leaders are going to end up being textured. I could be wrong. Essentially, some cards will be designated to, you know, have the texturing and the rest will just be holo. But either way, that's kind of awesome because it means that we're actually getting a full holo deck here, which is extremely cool. So what we've got here, in terms of the content, we've got a pre-constructed deck of 51 cards, 2 promo cards, and from everything we know, these have to be the other leaders, 10 Don cards is standard, a card case, and a play sheet. It says play sheet, not a play mat. It's not going to be a lovely rubber play mat. It's going to be like a paper play sheet. It's going to suck. Sorry. In terms of the card case, this could actually be like a proper plastic case. Because of the price of the deck over in Japan, it is absolutely possible, if not likely, that this is like a genuine proper like deck box. Which is awesome! And I'm kind of loving it. Everything I'm hearing about this is very cool. Now, it is actually officially it's on the Japanese website. It doesn't give us, unfortunately, a huge amount of extra information. Worst Generation, a powerful pre-constructed deck with a theme of 3 captains. First appearance of red-purple multicolor leader card. Although, again, from what we've been told on the GTS website, this seems to suggest that there are, in fact, 3 red-purple leaders, which is kind of amazing. Product name, Ultimate Deck 3 Captains Gathering Starter Deck 10. The release date here is the 29th of July. And what is really cool, I'm going to Japan for the Pokemon World Championships, because how could I miss that? Come on, great excuse to go to Japan. If my current plans hold, I will be landing in Japan early evening on the 29th of July. And there will be an official One Piece TCG store, like a 15-minute train away. You know I'm going to go and try and buy this on release day because I can. And then in terms of the content, pre-constructed deck, 51 cards, 2 replacement cards. They're described as promotional cards over on the distributor website, but basically they are the other 2 leaders. 10 Don cards, 1 play sheet, and 1 card case. So again, what we're getting, and this shouldn't surprise anyone, is exactly the same as what Japan's getting. As it stands, I'm not seeing any information on price here, which is a bit unfortunate. Don't expect it to be a £10 starter deck. Expect this to probably be a £25 starter deck. It's going to be expensive. It's going to be by far the most expensive one we've seen so far, because it's going to be awesome. It's going to be $25, $30. Hey ho, ladies and gentlemen. I think it sounds like it might be worth it. But I want to know what you think. So let me know in the comment section, would you? Go nuts! Be nice! And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at @TheWasi. That's where we talk about One Piece and card games and all kinds of fun things. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts, join a Discord, and all kinds of fun things. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wasi Plays.